प्रथितमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। So even though there are many definitions of adhyasa, but there is something common to all of them, even though there are some minor differences of opinion, but there are no major differences. Just staking, either you say that rope is mistaken for the snake, or you say the rope is mistaken to have the quality of snake, or you say the rope is mistaken to be the snake that is nowhere, neither there nor anywhere, or you may say the rope is mistaken for a snake that is elsewhere. You just press them, they can all fall in line. They all start fighting if you don't press them. If you put pressure on them, they will have to fall in line with the truth. The truth is that you are mistaking a reality for what is not simple. Ego-born differences of opinion are different. Objectivity-born differences of opinion are different. It's all ego-born difference. I have to say, if I say the same thing as you say, तो फिर हमारा क्या रहा? हमारा क्या रहा जी? I have to say something which is little थोड़ा आपसे थोड़ा अलग. I have to agree with you also, and also a little bit disagree with you. These are all ego clash. That's why here he says, idam adhyasa lakshanam. This definition of adhyasa is given by the Vedantis. Sarvatantra aviruddham. It cannot be really seriously opposed. The definition as given by the definition of Vedanta given here cannot be totally opposed. It is absolutely true. Even if we put it in different words, ultimately if you put pressure on the person, it means the same thing. That is why Sanya Matre Vivadaha it is called. We are differing only in name. You are using one word, I am using another word. Sanya Matre Vivadaha. भाषा में विवाद है, वास्तव में कोई विवाद नहीं. And every student can understand, you don't mistake the rope to have just the quality of snake. You don't say it is rope plus the quality of, it is rope plus snake. I say there is no rope, there is only snake. That means noun is mistaken for noun, another noun. One noun is mistaken for another noun. ऐसा ही ले सकते हैं. One noun is mistaken for another noun. And similarly, if you put pressure upon a person, even though a person says, the snake that I see in the rope is not there but elsewhere, yeah, the same snake kahan hai? That particular snake that you see there. I am not talking about the space jati, I am talking about space vyakti. That particular individual snake, where is it? That particular snake that you see in the snake rope, where is it? Neither there nor elsewhere. If you say there are snakes, see, you are talking about jati, I am talking about vyakti. That is new. यहाँ पर तो Brahman doesn't have a jati, means many, like there are many snakes, but there are no Brahmans. Similarly, there are many snakes, but we don't have many jivas also. Once we say jiva, every jiva is a jiva. Brahman is seen as jiva, bas. Brahman is seen as jiva. Man is a jiva. Animal is a jiva, bird is a jiva, reptile is a jiva. If Brahman is seen as any jiva, it simply means Brahman is seen as jiva. This language you have to bridge this gap. Brahman seen as any jiva means Brahman is seen as jiva. Now that jivatvam that is seen, that jiva that is seen in Brahma, that jiva is neither in Brahma nor elsewhere. Who can really dispute it? Who can dispute it? इनकी बस का है. Therefore, keeping in view all these lot of differences of opinion felt expressed here are all ego born, not objectivity, jignasa born. They are not born of real mimamsa. Anyway, Vedanta doesn't have to answer the differences of opinion born of ego. Differences of opinion born of ignorance can be handled. The one who is a sleeping man can be woken up, but the one who pretends to be asleep can't be woken up. उनको कैसे उठाएंगे? And your granddaughter, you have to send her to school, and she closes her eyes pretending to be sleepy because she doesn't want to go to school. How do you wake her up? Even if you pour water on that child, she is not going to wake up. Because school जाना ही नहीं चाहते. Similarly, these people, they know very well the snake is nowhere. They know very well, but yet they manage to say slightly different from what. That's why this author is going to say it's best to ignore them. Now let us read. Idam adhyasa lakshanam sarvatantra aviruddham. इसको समझ लीजिए. This sarvatantra aviruddham. It is unopposed to any school. The definition of adhyasa as given by the Vedanta is unopposable by, it is unopposed to any school of thought. It is not humanly possible to object to the definition of an error as given by Vedanta. Whereas the definition of an error given by various schools in India and also Western philosophies can be contradicted. Says Nanu Santuvadinam Vipratipattayaha Santunamavadi vipratipattayaha. Let there be thousands of opinions. Let there be 1,000 different opinions about the reason for adhyasa, the methodology of adhyasa. It doesn't matter, but the nature of adhyasa nobody can. That it is erroneous perception. Why? There can be different opinions. How? There can be many opinions, but what it is, there can't be any. Isko pakad lijiye. The reason, people can come up with different reasons. Why do I see the rope for snake? Different people can come up with different opinions. How does it operate? Vagera, vagera. Because adhyasa can have a reason, that is non-understanding of a fact. But different people come up with different reasons anyway in the mind, confusion, vagera, vagera. But we don't have to, Bhashya simply says the reason for adhyasa is ignorance. The reason for adhyasa is ignorance, there is no other reason. It is impossible for people to differ in their view even in the matter of the reason for adhyasa. On the nature of it, there can't be any difference of opinion. It is distortion. Distortion of a fact. And even as to what is the reason for distortion, you can't have any difference of opinion because only ignorance of a reality. I mean, you can't find many reasons. The only reason for distortion is ignorance of a fact. Agrahanam. So the reason can only be one, ignorance. The nature of adhyasa can only be one, distortion, anyatha agrahanam. Reason can only be agrahanam. And we are left with modalities, method. And in adhyasa there is no causation. Therefore you can't come up with methods. The topic of how doesn't work. In causation, you can explain a process. Where there is a process, you can explain how. Where there is a process, you can explain how. But adhyasa is not a process. Why there is no change over kuch nahi. Only it is a perception, distorted perception. How does milk become curd? Process. You introduce some bacteria into it, some yeast into it, and then takes over. Like your Yakult milk, take some Yakult milk. Nothing but mattha. Keep the mattha for 2-3 दिन, वो Yakult हो जाती है. If you pack it, it is Yakult. If you don't pack it, it is mattha. No? Wherever there is a process, you can explain, gee. Therefore, on the nature of adhyasa, difference of opinion is absurd. On the reason for adhyasa, difference of opinion is absurd. On the methodology of it, it is absurd because there is no methodology. Therefore, difference of opinion about adhyasa is absurd. And therefore, if people come up with different opinions, they need to be ignored. Yes, forget it. Nanu santu vadinam vipratipattaya prakrite kimayatam. Okay, sir, there are many different opinions about this adhyasa. So, ab kya kare? Prakrite kimayatam. Then what do we do with this? Now, then what? So, then what? Then what? That is called prakrite kimayatam. Is a peculiar Sanskrit expression. Then what? Sarvathapi, Bhashyakara says, who cares about these different views about the nature of adhyasa or the reason of adhyasa, but we can understand. Without belittling them, I can tell you something Bhashyakara says. Sarvathapi tu, by all, whatever way they define, Anyasya anyadharma avabhasatam na vyabhicharati. They all agree on one thing, that is something is being seen as something else. Bas. Something appears, something else. Or something is seen, something else. Bas. As regards the nature of adhyasa, there can't be any difference of opinion. इसको पकड़ लीजिए. The nature of adhyasa. And regarding the reason for adhyasa also, there can't be any difference of opinion. Yajyapi vadinaha samaropita pratibhase nimittam anyatha vyachakshate. Yajyapi, even though vadinaha, these vadis, samaropita pratibhase, in something appearing differently, in perceiving something differently, samaropita pratibhasa means in the appearance of the error. Nimittam anyatha vyachakshate. They give different reasons for the error. Different schools may give different reasons for distortion. But right here now we understand. Even those different reasons, if you press them a little, they all will have to say ignorance of a fact. और कुछ नहीं है. Even though different people give different opinions about the reason for adhyasa, similarly, yajyapi cha adhisthana aropya swarupa visheshe cha te vipravadante. Not only they give different reasons for adhyasa, they also give different natures of adhisthana and adhyasa. Some say adhisthana continues, adhisthana is a reality, and some say even adhisthana is false, means even like Sunyavadis. So, what is imposed is false, even the locus is false. Some say yes, what is imposed is false, but where it is imposed is not false. थोड़ा बहुत विप्रतिपत्ति होती, विप्रतिपत्ति ही means difference of opinion तो है. Without these differences of opinion, if there is only one Vedanta, then you can't introduce philosophy as a topic in various schools and colleges. अगर difference of opinions नहीं कि फिर कॉलेज जाके पढ़ेंगे क्या जी? Western views are not there, different views, no difference of opinion. There are no Eastern difference of opinion about the truth. There is only one definition of the error, one definition of the truth. फिर वो टॉपिक रहेगा? कुछ नहीं. संसार को चलाने के लिए भी भगवान ने दिमागों को खराब कर दिया. तो चलाते रहो, एक आधा समझेंगे, बाकी लोग चलते रहो आगे. This is what he is going to say. यद्यपि वादिनः समारोपित प्रतिभासे निमित्तम अन्यथा अन्यथा व्याचक्षते, यद्यपि च अधिष्ठान आरोप्य स्वरूप विशेषे ते विप्रवदन्ते, तथापि, but still, Bhashikara means to say, but still, sir, they all differ, that's okay. अन्यस्य अध्यारोपस्य अध्यारोप आस्पदस्य अन्यधर्म अवभासताम् अर्थान्तरत्वेन प्रतिभासताम् अतस्मिन् तत्प्रत्यय रूपताम् क्वचिदपि वादे न व्यभिचरति अध्यासः. Something appearing something else on this matter. In this matter nobody differs. Something appears something else, बस इतना ही है. Whether the noun appears as some other noun or the noun appears to have a different adjective or जो भी है, but something is appearing as something else, बस. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. You may have different definitions about that gadabad, but still it remains gadabad, bas. So क्या हुआ? Then why worry about these difference of opinions? In fact, various, different opinion, difference in opinion about the truth and the error has no consequences. Why? Because you can't have alternative views about the truth. You can't have alternative views about the error. There can only be one. First, truth being evident, you can't have alternative views. Error also being evident, you can't have you can have alternative faiths about the unevident. You can have alternative faiths, beliefs. You can have alternative beliefs about the unevident. You can't have alternative views, various alternative views about what is evident. वो मुश्किल है, इसका संभव नहीं है. But why did so many philosophies came? Because instead of analyzing the evident as evident, they speculated about it. Once we speculate about what is evident, then you will have thousands of speculations. ये बात every Vedanta विद्यार्थी must understand. See, my existence is already felt. And in order to reach my existence, in order to prove my existence, I start speculating. Why do you want to speculate? Why do you want to arrive at your existence? Why don't you speculate to prove something else? Because my existence is already felt and I want to prove it. देखो जी, the very effort to prove my existence is because it is already felt. If it is already felt, there is no need to prove it. उसमें कुछ भ्रांति हो गया. Thinkers come under the spell. You are conscious and you speculate about consciousness. They say we have to explain. This is just, I am giving a very classical example. Every philosopher feels riddled about the explanation for cognition, recognition. Every philosopher feels riddled about the explanation for recognition. Unless there is something continuous, recognition is not possible. I saw somebody yesterday and today I see the same person, I recognize. How is this recognition possible? They say for cognition I don't need continuity of something. But for recognition, I need continuity of something. I do say, everybody says, I recognize. I recognize means the one who recognizes himself has continuity. The one who recognizes has continuity. And is it a felt continuity or unfelt continuity? You see, now supposing in a I recognize, आराम से सुनना, without repeating, आराम से सुनना. Silently think about it. If I am recognizing, I know I recognize, and continuity is felt because yesterday when I saw him I was there, and now also I am there, in between I was there, therefore continuity is felt, continuity of oneself need not be inferred. And I can clinch the point here right now, just as whether I recognize or not, I don't have to prove. Recognition need not be proved. Whether I recognize or not, I don't have to prove. Yesterday I saw somebody and today I recognize him. And he also says, yes, you saw me yesterday. That means what? I have it is recognition. You know it is recognition. How do you prove it? Recognition is self-evident, understand? If what is evident needs to be proved, then that proving also needs to be proved, and that needs to be proved. It will have a problem. What is unevident can be proved. Meaning what is an object can be proved. What is there in the world, but I don't see it, but only the effects are seen, the cause is not seen, I can infer the cause through the effect. That is called inference. Supposing I recognize somebody, that I recognize, I don't have to prove because I know I recognize. Like I had a dream and now I recognize the same me. The I who dreamt alone is the I that is awake, is a recognition about myself. Now this recognition, supposing it says, how do you prove it? Just because this word proving is there, it is not relevant in every situation. How do you prove it? Say it is recognition is what really, if at all it is required. Recognition proves the continuity. Not recognition needs to be proved. Recognition proves the continuity does not mean it proves through inference. Recognition proves, it points to the continuity without any inference sense data. Recognition points to the continuity. Therefore, neither recognition needs to be inferred, nor the continuity need to be inferred. Continuity with properly Continuity properly understood minus time. Continuity minus time is eternity. Even though truth is not an object of recognition, but in the realm of ignorance it looks an object of recognition. The universe is one with the self. Even the universe is not something which is a point of, which is not the matter of recognition, because it is one with. But because as long as it looks different from me, it becomes recognized by me. Because the same world which I saw yesterday, I am seeing today. And the same me. Both the error looks an object of recognition, truth also looks an object of recognition, as long as the truth is misunderstood. There is anyatha from the adhyaropa drishti. In the state of embodiment, everything looks an object of recognition anyway. Therefore, the same truth becomes, the self-evident truth looks the self-evident recognition. Self-evident truth itself looks self-evident recognition. Why do you have to prove it? Now the philosophers go about saying, what is the proof of recognition? I say, which recognition are you talking? Which is already felt. Before inferring recognition, suppose it is not there, you should not be talking about. ये बड़ा बात है. Okay. Therefore here he says, तथापि अन्यस्य अध्यारोप आस्पदस्य अन्यधर्म अवभासताम अर्थांतरत्वेन प्रतिभासताम अतस्मिन् तत् प्रत्यय रूपताम क्वचिदपि वादेन व्यभिचरति अध्यास. वादिनां विविध मत विवरणे, वादियों का विविध मतों को विवरण करने में, इन एलैबोरेटिंग ऑन देयर व्यूज, तद विवाद विवरणे वा, or in describing their arguments, their thoughts or their arguments, मत को व्याख्यान करने में या उनकी वादों को व्याख्यान करने में ना आदरः कृतः, we haven't taken interest. No interest has been shown by us to dwell upon their different views or to dwell on their different arguments. Why? Falgu prayojanatva is useless. Falgu prayojanatva, useless. It is useless. It's a waste of time to dwell upon what Cat thinks, what Hegel thinks, what this thing. You go through all their opinions, you ever find they are useless. In fact, our Nayayikas are much better. Indian schools of speculation are much better speculators, I am telling you. Both are speculators. They are wild speculators. Indian speculators are little logical speculators because यहाँ पर न्याय शास्त्र है. Our न्याय is more adhyatma based. यहाँ पर everything gets related to the truth, you see. Even Charvaka also, before he says there is no God, he offers a prayer to Bhagavan. Hey Bhagavan, please help me in dismissing your existence. You see, this is all adhyatma related, more mature logic, more truth based logic. Halgu prayer is all useless. Nayayika says, all the thoughts as we have been seeing in Brihadaranyaka, all thoughts, pleasure, pain, emotions, everything, the entire mental life must be an adjective of the self. Why? Because these are all gunas. Guna can't exist without guni. Adjectives can't exist without a noun. Because they are all emotions, and emotions must exist, they are all gunas. For adjectives to exist, there must be a substance. And that substance is Atma, the self. The self is the noun, and all the thoughts are adjectives. Why this thinking? Why? Because human beings cannot go beyond noun-adjective relation. The entire science is based on it. Noun-adjective. Whereas Vedanta is talking between you and your thoughts, there is no noun-adjective relation, there is truth and error relation. Baba, Satya Mithya Bhava. You see? Satya Mithya Bhava. Between you and your thought. Therefore, we say, they look my attributes, but in fact they are distorted, they are errors, they are appearances in me. My thoughts are appearances in my being, not my adjectives. If they are adjectives, they can't have laya. One thing everybody washes off his hands about is sleep. इसके बारे में it's like they don't know what to do with it. Sleep is one thing, they don't know what to do with it. My question is, if they are all gunas, where do they disappear? If you say they are all in dormant state, means unmanifest state. But even if they are if the adjectives have to be in dormant state, the substance has to be there. According to you, self is the substance. Thoughts are the attributes. But in sleep, even if you say they are all in dormant state, you mean unmanifest state, but the substance, the noun, has to be there. Which simply means Atma becomes timeless. If you accept the Atma, the substance, as something that exists even when the thoughts become unmanifest, then you are accepting the timelessness of the truth. Terrible speculations. Terrible speculations. Mean nothing. If you are a thinking person, they help you to discover how without Shabda Pramana nobody can ever come close to. Because everybody thinks only in terms of noun adjective, noun adjective, noun adjective, substance adjective, noun adjective, everything noun adjective. Na adaraha kritaha falgu prayojanatvat is all useless. Santu tesham avantara vivadaha parashatam santu, let there be parashatam, more than 100. Parashatam is an expression meaning thousands. Let there be hundreds of arguments. Tesham avantara vivadaha. They are secondary arguments. There avantara means, one is mukhya, the other is avantara. Avantara means secondary. You see a tree, I see a tree, everybody sees a tree. That means that we all see tree is the mukhya in which there is no vivada. Again, what is that tree? You say, call it one tree. I say this, I say that. This is called avantara bhedas. They don't have any argument regarding the central definition of adhyasa, that something is seen as something else. But In the primary matter there are no arguments. Only in the secondary matter there are arguments. What is that secondary matter? The reason for adhyasa. What else is the secondary matter? The process of adhyasa. These are all secondary matters. Atasmin tat kalpanam adhyasaha ityatra. But in the matter of something appearing differently in that matter, atasmin tat kalpanam adhyasaha. अतस्मिन तत्कल्पनम, जब वो नहीं है उसको वैसा देखना. When it is not snake, I see it snake. That is called atasmin tatkalpana. Atasmin tatkalpanam adhyasaha ityatra tu. In this matter to na kopi vadi vipratipadyate. Nobody disagrees. There are no arguments at all when it comes to that central thing. Something appears, something. Why? There are thousands of opinions. How does it appear? But that it appears? No. That something appears, something else, and that is called adhyasa. Everybody accepts. But why it's so? Why does it appear? When does it appear? How does it appear? Etc. etc. Where does it appear? सार झगड़ते रहो, झगड़ते रहो. इस झगड़ा का कभी अंत होगा? कभी नहीं. That is why there is only way out of झगड़. Do you know? How do you end the झगड़? You don't know how not to? How to end a jhagad? You don't know? I'll tell you. Don't do jhagadabaz. Don't begin it. You can't end it. You can only not begin it. Once you begin, you don't end it. वो कभी नहीं होगा. Do tapasya not to begin it. Avoid it. क्या करना? ट्रूथ इज व्हाट मैटर्स. ये सब नहीं, इनको चाहिए. Who is interested all in all this झगड़ा? अतः, therefore, just another few minutes. अतः, therefore, सर्वतंत्र अविरुद्धः. Pick up this term. सर्वतंत्र अविरुद्धः. This definition as given by Bhashyakara is unopposable by, it is unopposed, it is acceptable to all schools. It is uncontradicted by all schools, unopposed by all schools. Sarva Tantra. Sarva Tantra means schools. Tantra can mean Tantra. Tantra can also mean a given school. Sarva Tantra, it एक tantra है. Whenever they talk about the truth, even though they call it darshanam, we sarcastically Vedantis call it as tantra है. एक tantra है, एक magic sum, एक जादू, थोड़ा जादू करते हैं. Tantra है. They are all tantras. Whereas Vedanta is Pramanam, they are Tantra. Right now, as Vedantis, you can understand, every Tantra says it has been coming down. Our school has been coming down. That is okay, it has been coming down for the last few hundred or thousands of years, but there is a founder who is Kalpitam. Every speculation is Kalpitam. Whereas Atma as Brahman is Agama. It has come down. It is not speculated by a jiva. Any thought spun, any school of thought propounded by a given jiva is called kalpitam. It's a kalpana. किसी का कल्पना है, whereas Atma is Brahman is not. कल्पना नहीं है. It is agama. It has been coming down. What is Vaidikam alone is agama. Everything else is not agama. Even though they say it has been coming down. हमारा ये जो दर्शन है ये तो अनेक सालों से आते आ रहा है. Sometimes they even say अनादि काल से आ रहा है. जब आप कहते हैं हमारा वेदांत अनादि है, वो लोग बोलते हमारा कोई काम थोड़ी, हमारा भी अनादि है. समझते नहीं. 2-4 साल आएंगे तो अनादि अनादिकाल से आ रहे हैं. दोनों हाथ ऊपर उठा देते हैं. अनादिकाल की बाडारी टॉकेंगे. सिंपल बातें नहीं समझ में आ रहे हैं. तत्व तो गंभीर है. देखो अनादिकाल कुछ नहीं. एनी थॉट दैट इज फन, थॉट that is invented by somebody about the truth, it is a kalpana. It's not jnanam, it is kalpana. It is a tantram. Call it tantram, call it kalpana. Whereas Vaidika drishti is agama. It's been coming down. It is not kalpitam by a given. Therefore it is not even kalpitam by rishis, please. Why? Because Rishi himself says Shabda hi pramon hai. Enastad vyacha chakshire. This is how we received from them. Enastad vyacha chakshire. This is how our teachers taught us. This is how our teachers taught us in this manner. Enastad vyacha chakshire. इस प्रकार का है. Anyway, if it is a self-evident thing, if you are pointing out, if there is a literature that points out what is self-evident, then we don't call it as tantram, it is agamam. There are so many siddhantas. Like for instance, there is the Vaishnava darshan. They also say hamara bhi agam hai because it is all Vaidikam. Kashmiri Shaiva Siddhantam, जैसे हमारा असली आगम है. हमारा तो पूरा वेद का निचोड़ देते हैं. Somebody came and just explained Vedanta a little different way. थोड़ा सा फर्क हो जाता है. अद्वैत नहीं बन जाता है. So it comes under, even though you have used Veda to arrive at that thought, it is still not, that thought is not agama. It is a tantra. You may call it agama, but it is not agama. Agama means uninvented by a given individual is called agama. Agama means that जो agata परंपरागतः is called आगमः. जो आगत है वही आगम है. समझ में आ रहा है ना? Therefore, there are so many in the south also, there are Tamil literature. They are all called agamas. There are so many Tamil books you may not be knowing, but I know, I haven't read them, but I know that there are. They are called agamas. They even call it as agama pitham. There are some pithas, agama pithas. But the thoughts propounded from that pitha have nothing to do with agama, because they use Veda and say something what they want to say. समझ गए ना? ये बहुत अच्छा है जी. Devil wants to say something. श्रोता मिलता नहीं है. Then the devil says, what I am teaching is nothing but scripture. Then people come. Then the devil goes on quoting the scripture. And people go on swallowing what? Scripture? No, the devil's words. People go on swallowing the devil's words, spiced with the belief that they are the words. Who doesn't understand? You have to be objective enough. भगवान से इतना प्रार्थना करे, हे भगवान हमें सही दिशा में ले जाओ, बिकॉज इस दुनिया में कितनी भी by taking to the wrong paths you may get the world but miss the truth. गलत रास्ते में जाएंगे तो दुनिया मिलेगा, सत्य नहीं मिलेगा। दुनिया मिल सकता है, अगर सत्य चाहिए you have to study what Veda says correctly. Correctly what Veda. Vedanta says something very beautiful. Therefore, Sarva Tantra. Now I have explained to you also the difference between Tantra and Shabda Pramana. ये सब तंत्री है, लोग तंत्र करते हैं ना, सब तंत्री हैं, ये कर लो खुश आपको मुक्ति आ जाएगा, you will get lot of happiness to this. तो तंत्र है, it is a speculation by somebody. One joker came and somebody came to me and he put his hand on my hand like this. Do you feel anything? He said, do you feel anything? I said, I don't feel anything. You don't feel anything? You are not at Adhikari for Reiki. Understand? I said, idiot. You leave all this, go and study. You have left everything. I told him the same thing, idiot. You have left everything, you have taken sannyasa. What are you doing? What is this Reiki? Go and study the scripture. Don't tell me all these stupid things. You have chosen a wrong person to experiment your Reiki on. What is this Reiki do you feel? Even if I were to feel, so what? So is it going to solve my problem, your problem? Even if I feel some sensation, if a given sensation can solve the problem, every day we have so many sensations. What is all this? A new sensation, what? If somebody gives you vibhuti, if that can solve the problem, there is so much of vibhuti around. What is all this? Even if he really produces as so what? Even if it is not hand trick, so what? क्या हो गया? क्या हो गया? Touching the people, making people think correctly should be the job of any sadhu, sant, saint, rishi, any person. Making the people think correctly, whether it is dharma or disciplines or truth. Make them think correctly. If they think fine, if they don't think fine, but you always say, go. What is this? Feel free. अगर किसी लड़की के पास जाके ऐसा कहता, you will get into trouble. Yes. What is all this? Thus, Tantra is different from Vedanta. Tantra is an invented gimmick. If it is a logical gimmick, you call it darshanam. If it is a logical gimmick, you call it darshanam. If it is a something, ubad-khabad gimmick, very, very without any much of logic, that is called tantra. Somebody invented that thought, do this, सब हो जाएंगे, तो तंत्र है, शास्त्र नहीं। शास्त्र क्या कहती है? ईश्वर से प्रार्थना करो, अपना मेहनत करते जाओ, वो शास्त्र है। Take this color and wear it, or take this diamond and wear it, you will feel better. What is it? तंत्र है, शास्त्र नहीं। ये तंत्र है। What does tantra mean? People say, Swamiji, is not tantra also a part of Veda? No. Tantra is an invented thought. Shastra means agama. Ishvara prarthana, upasana is agama. Nitya karma is agama. That the karma yoga is agama. Nitya karma is agama. Use this diamond ring, you will be alright is tantra. Some joker has invented that thought. लक्ष्मी को बुला दो अपने घर, ऐसा का बारिश हो जाएंगे। कहाँ है? हमारे पास बहुत लक्ष्मी है। 2,900 रुपए एक लक्ष्मी। थोड़ा थोड़ा स्टैच्यूस है ना। Who is it? Shastra? It is tantra. Tantra means what? An invented thought, an invented gimmick. Is it not a part of Shastra? No, Shastra means it should be agama, not invented by us. Is it clear? हाँ जी, बहुत है जी। आप लोगों को समझना नहीं समझना मुझे मालूम, मुझे समझाने के लिए बहुत है। हमारे पास समझाने के लिए इतनी चीजें हैं। राम राम, पूरा शास्त्र ऐसे पढ़ी। कंटिन्यूटेड पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। हरि ओम, हरि ओम, हरि ओम, हरि ओम।